Lakers up and full today. We got two sports to cover in a huge way. You see the squad that we put together here and a cast of thousands standing by as well. Who else is up with us this morning? Jay Will is with us today. I see Monica McNutt ready to roll today. And of course, the Wingman anchoring the NBA coverage. That's where it begins. The basketball world is still abuzz in the wake of the stunning landscape-changing Luka for AD trade over the weekend. The Lakers introduced Doncic at a press conference yesterday. The 25-year-old superstar will wear his familiar number 77 with the purple and gold. Here was Doncic yesterday talking for the first time on how he found out about the blockbuster trade.
I mean, everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first, and it was a bit shock. It was hard moments for me. It was home, so it was really hard moments for me, especially the first day. But as I said, I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
All right, so we had all of that, and then Luka in attendance last night, fans chanting his name. His first game as a Laker, not playing, of course, still out with the calf, but LeBron was as they took on the Clippers, and this was the LeBron show, Allen, from the get-go.
He's Benjamin Button of the NBA. I've watched him play now the last couple of weeks. He just seems to get younger. He's in the Wayback Machine right now, Greeny.
He would go crazy last night, scoring 21 in the first half, doing it from everywhere. You saw him inside, you saw him outside, you see him taking it into the lane, and then late in the half, the Lakers leading by 20. And it's LeBron finishing through contact. Free throws good. Lakers up 23 at the half. So all that was left was to see a little Bronny action in the fourth quarter. We would get that with the Lakers up by 26. What you're about to see is the first made three of Bronny James' NBA career. So all happy there. LeBron would finish with 26, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Lakers win. And then after the game, he had a lot to say.
I ain't never seen this one. I have. I've seen it all up until this one. I've never been a part of one transaction like that. That was different. It was shocking when I heard the news, but at the end of the day, I understand the business of basketball. I didn't make the decision, so. But it was just, shocking in the sense of who was involved, obviously. With Luka and AD. I don't know. I don't have much words for it.
What do you think it will take for this partnership to be really productive as best as can be?
Whatever we want it to be. It's going to take long. I can play with anybody. And I think he can as well, so we'll work well together.
Any concerns that because you brought in a young star, that some of these priorities kind of might shift more towards the future rather than the present?
What's wrong with that? If I had concerns, I would have waived my no trade clause and got up out of here.
Okay, put your feet up, people. We've got time and we've got lots to say. Let me start with the look at Jay Will is fired up in an airport somewhere. Wendy, I will start with you. You are my LeBron whisperer. I have been waiting to hear him talk. That was a mouthful. How did you interpret all of the things we just heard from King James?
We heard from everybody. We've now heard from Luka. We've heard from Anthony Davis. We've heard from Kyrie. We've heard from LeBron. We've heard from Rob Pelinka. We've heard from Nico Harrison. And everything says, I know there's these conspiracy theories out there and everything. There is no conspiracy. Nobody knew. None of them were previously consulted. It hit all of them out of the blue. This was a decision made by Nico Harrison, ratified by Coach Jason Kidd, negotiated with Rob Pelinka. That's it. LeBron doesn't want out. LeBron isn't going to retire. Do you see those highlights? Do you think LeBron looks like a guy who's at the end? Has LeBron ever had a guy on his team that he hasn't been able to play with? There's no conspiracy here. It is just a shocking event in the NBA. And now that everybody has expressed that, we now can deal with the fallout, which is what all of these teams are doing as they move into tomorrow's trade deadline. And the Lakers are involved in talks elsewhere. But this is LeBron, I think, telling 100% the truth. And it is not normal. It is not normal that there will be a transaction on his team that he's not aware of or has approved. It is not something that's happened in years. That is what we heard. Is he upset about it? No. He's excited about it. He's still shocked about it, and he's excited about it. And I think that's the mindset that everybody involved and all the fans should have. It's a sense of amazement and a sense of wonder, and let's see what happens next.
Jay Will, I know you have thoughts on the Luka of it all. We'll get to that, but let me just start with your reaction to what we heard LeBron say yesterday.
Well, I first off think initially it had to be somewhat of a kick in the stomach for LeBron just to recognize that the franchise is going to be in the hands of Luka moving forward. And that is the decision that the franchise has made kind of without LeBron, and the fact that they are going to move forward in the best overall decision for Luka. But like Greeny, having some time to really think about it and sit with it, if you're LeBron and you have another year or two left, maybe, right? What better player to have if you can get him where he needs to be to offload the offensive responsibility for you than Luka Doncic? Like, this is the power move I was talking about. Owners, GM saying, no, we're actually going to run the team. Because if Rob Pelinka and JJ Redick can find the right pieces to surround LeBron and Luka with LeBron's ability to shoot the ball right now at this stage of his career, that might increase the odds and give him better odds to win a championship than AD ever would have.
What do you think, McNutt?
I'm following you, Jay. I'm definitely tracking. But my favorite part of this whole thing is I can play with anybody. And that is exactly what LeBron has shown us through his career. So to me, the idea that there's not enough basketballs has really been kind of frustrating. And then I think about the same thing when it comes to Luka on the other side. There were similar conversations when Kyrie went to Dallas, and they managed to make it work. So I just think this was an honest moment from LeBron. I think this is going to be really exciting to watch. We'll see what happens at the rest of the trade deadline.
I love the glasses, by the way. Han, your reaction.
Well, first and foremost, was that Rob Lowe in an off-Broadway revival of Grease? Like, that was some look by Rob Pelinka. I love it. But still, this is always going to be about how you can get LeBron one more championship while also building for the future. What I loved in the highlight was that give and go LeBron had, and then he finishes. What did he do? He pointed right at Luka Doncic and said, are you ready for this? Because this is what's coming, and it is something that Luka has never played with anybody of that caliber. If you're Luka Doncic, how are you not motivated? Not only because you were just traded and you just lost $100 million, but you get to play with one of the greatest players in the history of the game, and a franchise or one of the players you idolize most, Kobe Bryant, played. It's a big moment in Luka Doncic's career.
Jay, it's a big moment for both of them. You pointed out one part of it. For both of them, this is uncharted territory, right? Jay, from the moment LeBron got to the NBA, everything every franchise he's been a part of has been built around him. And the same can be said of Luka Doncic. From the minute he got to the NBA, even as a rookie coming in, everything that was done in the interest of making him the best. Well, he's never been in a place where he isn't the biggest star, and at this moment, he's not the biggest star. LeBron's never been in a place where it wasn't all built around him. Now, suddenly, it's starting to move that way. So how do you expect them? They're saying the right things. How do you expect them to coexist once Luka starts playing, perhaps as soon as this weekend? Jay?
Well, I think this is going to have to be a situation. Everybody keeps talking about, well, Luka's not going to really accept LeBron James as like the big brother, but why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Here's a guy that's been through the gauntlet, that's exceeded every expectation on this planet. Why wouldn't you take that time to say, okay, we can do hard things together, but we need to be aligned. We need to be thick as thieves, and we need to hold each other accountable. If LeBron and Luka can have that type of dynamic, I think Luka was starting to build that to a degree with Kyrie, but Kyrie is drastically different than LeBron. I think that turns into something of potential greatness if they can remain aligned. That's the key word.
Sorry, Monica.
So I just think as we're having this conversation, and maybe this is a personal hang-up of mine, I think we need to be mindful of our word choice. Brother, mentor, all that. Why can't these two be fantastic teammates and we leave it at that, right? If they're both pulling in the same direction in terms of maxing out winning, then they're both going to be spending time together. They're going to be building chemistry. They're going to be doing all the things that are necessary to win, right? And so I just think as we look at this, yes, something's got to give. But that's the point of team sports. Something's going to give. And when you bring two of the brightest minds in the game together, I'm fully confident they can figure it out.
I understand that. Wendy, the part of it that I have trouble squaring, though, is that one of them is 25 and the other one is 40. So one of them is still sort of beginning his journey on some level. Like this feels like a new beginning for Luka, right? He's in a perfect world. For LeBron, no matter how well it goes, this is still practically right at the end. And Jay, you seem like you're shaking your head at me like crazy.
No, I'm just saying, like, has Luka won a championship yet, Greeny?
No, he has not.
Okay, so if I'm LeBron, I'm like, yo, if you want to win championships, this is how I've done it. Like, why wouldn't you just get on board with that? That's my thing. LeBron's been through the gauntlet. I get like the wording and the sensitivity of the wording, Monica. I hear you on that. But at some juncture, it's like, yo, this dude has done this 4 times. Like, I need to learn how to get to the next level. And I'm at the stage of my career where I have to kick it into a different gear because the gear I've been in before hasn't gotten it done.
I totally get
Okay,
that part of it.
We on the same page.
Wendy, the
something
part of
that
it, the part of it I'm trying to figure out is the LeBron part of it. I'm not questioning how great Luka is. I'm not even questioning how great they can. In a perfect world, if LeBron was even 35 instead of 40, how great they could eventually become. But we're talking about the future. I mean, LeBron's future is going to be in any number of different places in the world, but it's not going to be as a basketball player for that much longer, Wendy. That's the part of this I'm having trouble with.
Let me just say two things. One, why do we think LeBron's only got 1 or so year left? Are you guys watching him play?
Yeah.
Seriously, are you watching him play? He's dominating every night. Now, there are times when he definitely has low energy. There are times when defensively he just doesn't bring it. And you definitely see the ebb and flow of that, which is why they just brought in a first-team All-NBA player to put alongside him. Why? Why does this have to be a short-term thing? Why can't this be for a couple of years? Maybe something will happen and we'll know. But if you're looking and evaluating LeBron and you're the Lakers, are you like, is that a guy at the end? Hell no, it's not a guy at the end. Secondly, LeBron throughout his entire career has dealt with radical change. How many times has his team made a major in-season move and then he ended up in the finals? Not that I'm saying that's where the Lakers are headed this year. He has done this throughout his whole career. He has advocated for his team to make major changes. 4 different times in his career, he's remade his team and said, I'm going somewhere else. So yeah, I expect there to be growing pains. When Kyrie Irving came to the Mavericks 2 years ago, he and Luka struggled for the first couple of months together. I don't expect it to be good. I expect teams to find the weaknesses in this Lakers roster, and in a couple of weeks us to say, look at these Laker weaknesses. But why is everybody looking for ways this is not going to work? How about looking at the track record of LeBron, look at what he's doing every single night, look at the track record of Luka and say this can work. And if LeBron retires in 2 years or whatever, Luka will be 27. That's the beginning of his prime. I just don't see. Obviously, it's going to be hard. It's hard to win in the NBA. It's not supposed to be easy. But I don't see why everyone's so afraid. And I'm a pessimist normally. I'm usually the opposite side of this, and I just see rosy skies. I mean, if I was a Lakers fan, I would be skipping to work today.
Tonight, it's a wild morning. Han is here, but that's the tip of the iceberg. We have an enormous crew put together today talking hoops, talking football, coming to you live above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17. It starts with the sounds from Los Angeles. The basketball world remains abuzz in the wake of the stunning and landscape-changing trade of Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis over the weekend. There is Luka Doncic and Rob Pelinka,
Fonzie,
dressed like the Fonz. They introduced Luka yesterday. The 25-year-old will wear his familiar number 77. Then LeBron James played a game last night, played great. They beat the Clippers, and LeBron had a lot to say about the deal.
I ain't never seen this one. I have. I've seen it all up until this one. I've never been a part of one transaction like that. That was different. It was shocking when I heard the news, but at the end of the day, I understand the business of basketball. I didn't make the decision, so. But it was just, shocking in the sense of who was involved, obviously. With Luka and AD. I don't know. I don't have much words for it.
What do you think it will take for this partnership to be really productive as best as can be?
Whatever we want it to be. It won't take long. I could play with anybody. And I think he can as well, so we'll work well together.
Any concerns that because you brought in a young star, that some of these priorities kind of might shift more towards the future rather than the present?
What's wrong with that? If I had concerns, I would have waived my no trade clause and got up out of here.
So much interesting stuff there to react to. Again, we had Jay Will earlier. Monica gets up with us early this morning, and the Win Man has been anchoring all of this for us from LA. So Wendy, let's start with all the things we just heard LeBron say. You have been covering him quite literally since he was in high school. This is sort of uncharted territory for him, for the organization he plays for, to make a huge move like this. And for him to hear about it the same way everybody else did, that's new for him. What did you take away from all the things we heard him say last night?
This is also uncharted territory, what I'm about to say. I believe everything everybody has said about this deal. Everything that LeBron says, everything that Luka says, everything Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison, everything that Kyrie said. I believe everybody is telling the truth. I never believe that in the NBA when it comes to the media, what they say in the media. In this case, from what I know, I think everybody is telling the truth. The players did not know. They didn't know. There was no conspiracy going on. The reason the Mavericks didn't want to keep him and wanted to trade him, they didn't think that he had the habits and the personality and the mindset that they wanted to invest $350 million in. LeBron basically said after the game last night everything that we believed or that we were told. He did not know. He didn't get consulted. He misses AD. He was shocked. It's not something he's ever had before where a major transaction happens. Of course the Lakers need to worry about the next 10 years, not the next 10 minutes. Of course the Lakers need to focus on a 25-year-old, not a 40-year-old. Of course it was surprising. Everything is just straight on the up and up. It's stunning. It's shocking. It may be a massive mistake for the Dallas Mavericks, but everything happened straight on. I know it's hard to accept because of the world we're in today, but that is indeed what has gone on, and that is my takeaway.
Okay, I buy 100% of that, especially if you do. As far as LeBron's actual reaction to it, so the things he won't say, the things that you would never expect a person to say, which is to be completely honest about how he feels about how this impacts him right now and for whatever remains of his career. What do you think he thinks of it?
I suspect he would have liked to have known. I suspect he would have liked to have been able to give his opinion on how he would fit with Luka, that he would have liked to have had a discussion with Luka and said, hey, if you come here, how are we going to play? Or do you want the ball? Do I have the ball? How are we going to attack this? I expect he would have liked to have huddled with Rich Paul and said, hey, if I did want to waive my no trade clause, what are my options? But those conversations all took place afterward, and he's on the same page. And so, like I said, I believe what he said. If I have an issue with this, I would waive my no trade clause and I would be gone by tomorrow. He's not doing that. He's staying here and he's invested in it. And I believe that the Luka-LeBron partnership can be fascinating. It could also fail, but it can really work. And I think he wants to see it, and I think he is excited to see it. We saw him during the game last night make a play that he could have played with Luka and point to Luka on the bench, and we saw Luka smile. If you want something wholesome in this era of subtweeting and all this stuff, watch this. He says, Luka, this is what me and you are going to do, okay? We're going to do this for the next couple of years. Luka's like, you know what? That might not be such a bad thing. I might actually enjoy that because I happen to be in Los Angeles right now, and I can go to a house that overlooks the ocean and also do whatever I want here. So I think people are kind of realizing that this might not be such a bad thing. Will it mean that they'll win a championship? How the heck should I know? Not this year, I don't think. But just take it for what it's worth and take it for its face value, because in this rare, ultra rare instance, I think face value is the way to go.
All right, fair enough. LeBron had 21 of his 26 in the first half last night. They blew out the Clippers. Monica, you're a basketball expert. Help me. How are we might start seeing them as soon as this weekend? Yes, I'm told that Luka may start playing. He's been out with a calf.
Saturday.
He may come back as soon as Saturday. So in the next few days, we're going to start seeing this experiment. What do we expect it to be, Monica, short term and whatever constitutes long term?
So I was thinking about this last night, and I think you look at the space on the floor, right? Luka has the ability to draw multiple defenders. Obviously, he's tremendous in isolation. He can score at all three levels, as does LeBron, right? But between the two of them, in terms of the person that cuts with more burst and more force, we saw it on Saturday versus the Knicks. We saw it in the Celtics game. LeBron James still rocking the rim in terms of dunks. I just see opportunities for this Lakers offense to cut and move around Luka. Going into the game versus the Knicks on Saturday, they were a team that got a significant amount of their offense in terms of scoring off of cuts, right? Because of LeBron's gravity. Luka will have the same opportunity. And so to me, you look at the way that LeBron has been shooting the three ball as of late, there are a number of ways that he will be able to operate in space because of Luka's presence and vice versa. I don't care whether y'all say they both need the ball or not, but if LeBron James is standing in the corner and Luka Doncic is operating at the top of the key in a pick and roll, hypothetically, you can only hug off of LeBron, but so much. You have to get back out to recover. And so I don't think that the floor is going to be shrunk in the way that it would when people say, can these two play together? I still think that there's going to be plenty of space for them to operate.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just wanted to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.